Now, President Trump has taken his feud with MSNBC's Joe Scarborough to a weird new level by calling for an investigation into the death of one of Scarborough's interns. This happened a long time ago. I didn't even know that this happened. So again, this is weird how a tweet kind of pointed out something that I didn't know and kind of sparked my interest. Now, in a tweet calling for Scarborough and MSNBC President Phil Griffin to be terminated in the wake of Matt Lauer's firing, which has to do, of course, with sexual assault, sexual harassment, the president mentioned an unsolved mystery that took place in Florida years ago. He tweeted, "So now that Matt Lauer is gone, when will the fake news practitioners at NBC be terminating the contract of Phil Griffin? And will they terminate low ratings Joe Scarborough based on the unsolved mystery that took place in Florida years ago? Investigate." First off, what the fuck? Second of all, he's president. Why is he calling for an investigation on Twitter? Second of all, he's unhinged. I swear, the man is unhinged. Now, if you're wondering what he's talking about, what do you mean? What dead intern? Is this like another Seth Rich? Well, according to The Hill, Trump was referencing Lori Klausutis, a 28-year-old office staffer who worked for Joe Scarborough when he was a representative from Florida. Klausutis was found dead in the congressman's district office in July 2001. Oh my God, it must have been a murder. Really? I don't know. A local medical examiner ruled the death an accident, saying Klausutis had collapsed and hit her head on the side of the desk, which is definitely plausible. She had an undiagnosed heart condition, which would have been diagnosed probably if she had health insurance. Again, I'm not blaming her, whatever. Now, this undiagnosed heart condition, according to the medical examiner, is what she had, and that the head trauma, basically falling and hitting her head, caused a fatal blood clot. I don't know exactly how that works, but this is according to, like I said, the medical examiner. And I tend to trust their word unless there's something weird that sticks out. Now, the medical examiner, like I said, ruled her death an accident, and she had worked for Scarborough since May of 1999. So, now, again, so Trump brings this up, and he's like, we need to investigate. But again, they already did investigate, and they found that she died from an unfortunate accident, and sometimes that happens, and it's always tragic when something like that happens. But no, here comes Trump with the conspiracy theories, right? Which is funny because I think there have been other people that have also talked about this. Now, Gawker once pointed out, there is zero evidence to suggest that Joe Scarborough had anything to do with the death of Lori Klausutis. But the story of her death has nevertheless haunted Scarborough over the years. Because anywhere from some conservatives who don't like Joe Scarborough to even some liberals like Joe Scarborough would bring it up from time to time. There was Marcos Melitzis from Daily Kos who brought that up. Now, they got into a little Twitter fight. He actually got banned from MSNBC. Not Joe Scarborough, but Marcos got banned from MSNBC for bringing it up. That's interesting. And he's like, oh, no, I didn't actually say that he murdered her or anything like that. I just brought it up. You brought it up to the point of where you got, banned from MSNBC. Again, that's super interesting. I'm not exactly in favor of MSNBC. You guys know me, or Phil Griffin or anything like that. And I do think that they love their beloved Joe Scarborough. They give him 3 hours in the morning to spew right-wing propaganda. I get that, right? Nonetheless, I think I'm going to take a side on this one and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's no truth to any of this. There's no truth. There's no conspiracy that he killed this poor woman. What would be the motive? Again, it doesn't make any sense. Now, there's a story in the Sarasota Herald Tribune on 2001 that noted that 28-year-old was found dead in Scarborough's office. Okay, that itself would seem to be suspicious. However, the story said the preliminary findings from the medical examiner's office showed no foul play or any outward indication of suicide. So again, I'm not in favor of Scarborough, but I do happen to be in favor of facts. And if the medical examiner called it an accident and didn't find any evidence of foul play, well, then that seems to be good enough for me. But again, Trump loves his conspiracy theories, and he hates Joe Scarborough. Remember, this wasn't an issue with the president until he decided to despise Joe Scarborough. So, look, they were during the primary, they were buddy. They were hanging out with each other. They were doing softball interviews. He'd call into Morning Joe all the time. Oh, I love Morning Joe. Wonderful show. Mika's fantastic. All that stuff. And then he started being critical of Trump, and it completely changed. That's why this is, this is nothing more than Trump being a petty, vindictive child. And there's no truth to this. And here's another angle to this that I think is interesting to talk about. I think that he is already super scared of the investigation into him, that he's got to go and distract with calling investigations on everybody else. Oh, we got to investigate Hillary Clinton. We got to investigate Joe Scarborough. We got to investigate Bob across the street. I don't know. Bob's giving me shifty eyes. Investigate him. No, dude, he's trying to distract you. Again, he's got all these investigations into him. He's got Mueller that is targeting his inner circle. They're going after Flynn. Hell, they might even actually have Flynn. They've got Manafort already. Papadopoulos. They're looking into Jared Kushner. They're looking into Donald Jr. His entire inner circle seems to be falling apart. Seems to be under investigation. So here comes the crazy tweets from Donald Trump to try and distract everybody. And Scarborough wrote as much. He said, "Looked like I picked a good day to stop responding to Trump's bizarre tweets. Quote, he is not well." Again, I love to point out when Joe Scarborough is wrong, which is like 98% of the time. But on this one, when you're right, you're right. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.